Your dog isn't asking you to play catch. And once you understand what's actually happening in that moment, you'll never throw that ball the same way again. He's not inviting you to play. He's inviting you to notice him. Hold on to that thought, because by the end of this video, it's going to mean something completely different to you than it does right now. Picture this. You walk through the door after a long day. Your dog comes barreling around the corner with a stuffed animal hanging out of his mouth, tail going a mile a minute, whole body wiggling like he's about to come apart at the seams. So you do what any loving owner would do. You grab the toy, you toss it across the room, and off he goes. Case closed, right? He wanted to play, you played, everybody's happy. Except that's not what just happened. Not even close. Somewhere between the front door and that thrown toy, you missed an invitation. Not to a game. To something quieter, something your dog has been trying to hand you, literally, for years. And if you've ever wondered why he still seems restless 5 minutes later, even after a full round of fetch, this video is going to explain exactly why. So if it's not about the ball, what is he actually asking you for? I get it. If you've spent any real time around dogs, this instinct feels almost automatic. Toy in mouth, tail wagging. That's playtime, obviously. You're not wrong to think that. Traditional dog training has taught an entire generation of owners to read behavior at face value. And honestly, it's not your fault. Nobody sat you down and explained the biology behind that moment. You weren't given the full picture. So today we're going to give it to you. Maybe you've already tried the usual fixes, ignoring it completely, hoping he'll eventually stop greeting you with something in his mouth, or a firm drop it, treating the toy like a problem to control instead of a signal worth reading. Both approaches miss the same thing because they treat the object, not what's actually happening underneath it. And here's the part nobody warns you about. The more that instinct gets ignored or corrected instead of understood, the more your dog quietly learns something else entirely. That the only reliable way to get you to stop, breathe, and truly pay attention to him is by holding something in his mouth first. Over time, that toy stops being a coping tool and becomes his only ticket to real connection with you. That's not defiance. That's a dog adapting to the only response he's ever gotten. Here's where it gets interesting. Watch closely the next time it happens. Does your dog bring you that toy with a loose, relaxed body? Or is he pacing, back and forth, toy clenched tight, whining a little under his breath? Go ahead and drop it in the comments. What object does your dog reach for, and what breed is he? I read every single one, and by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why it matters. Because those are two completely different dogs having two completely different experiences. And traditional training never taught anyone to tell them apart. That pacing, whining, toy-clutching dog isn't inviting you to a game of tug-of-war. He's regulating. His nervous system just spiked. Maybe from pure joy at your arrival. Maybe from someone knocking at the door. Maybe from the doorbell, the vacuum, a stranger walking past the window. And he's using that toy the exact same way a person might grip the arms of a chair during turbulence. It's not a toy anymore. It's an emotional anchor, something solid to hold on to while a wave of arousal moves through his body. And here's the part that stings a little. What if throwing that toy is the exact opposite of what he needs from you in that moment? When you grab it and launch it across the room, hoping to give him what he wants, you're actually interrupting the one thing that was helping him settle. You're taking away his anchor at the exact moment his nervous system needed it most, and replacing it with something that raises his energy even higher. The gesture you thought was love just quietly declined the one thing he was really offering you: a moment of closeness. It's not your fault. Nobody taught you to see it this way. But it is worth fixing. This is what we call the root cause of dog behavior. Not the toy, not the pacing, not even the whining. The root cause is a nervous system that's currently overloaded and a body that's found its own way to cope. Every single behavior your dog shows you is information. He's not being difficult, and he's not being dramatic. He's communicating the only way he knows how. Let's talk about why this makes so much sense biologically. Because it goes back further than your living room couch. Dogs descend from animals that lived and worked in coordinated groups, reading each other's body tension before a single sound was made. That instinct didn't disappear when dogs moved indoors. It just changed targets. Instead of reading another dog's posture before making a move, your dog is reading yours. And when he can't quite settle his own body, he reaches for something physical to hold on to. The same instinct that pushed his ancestors to carry, guard, or grip objects whenever the group's energy ran high. If your dog happens to be a retriever, a shepherd, a spaniel, or any working breed, this instinct runs even deeper. Carrying something in the mouth wasn't just a habit for those dogs. For generations, it was the job. That drive to hold, to carry, to bring something back to a person is quite literally written into the genetics sitting on your couch right now. This isn't a flaw. It's ancient wiring, still running quietly under the surface of every greeting at your front door. There's actual science behind this, and it's worth sitting with for a second. A study published in the journal Frontiers in Psychology looked closely at dogs offering toys and objects to their owners, and found that dogs were far more likely to bring an object closer and to hold that interaction longer when their owner was paying calm, attentive focus toward them. In other words, the toy was never really the message. Your attention is what the entire behavior is built around. The object is just the vehicle he's using to ask for it. This single idea is the heart of what we teach here at Healing Tales Academy, something we call the emotional sync method. Before your dog can calm down, he needs to feel like you've actually seen what's happening inside him, not corrected it, not redirected it, seen it. That's canine self-regulation in its simplest form. And here's the part most owners never hear. Your job isn't to fix it for him. It's to become the calm he's already reaching for. He's not inviting you to play. He's inviting you to notice him. If this is already changing how you'll look at your dog tonight, go ahead and tap that like button. And if you haven't yet, hit subscribe. We break down one root cause behavior exactly like this every single week. And trust me, once you start seeing dogs through this lens, you can't unsee it. So what do you actually do in that moment? Here's your first practical step, and you can start using it today. We call it the 3-second settle. The next time your dog brings you an object during an overexcited greeting, resist the urge to throw it immediately. Instead, drop your shoulders, slow your own breathing, and place a calm, flat hand near his chest. Not grabbing, just present. Let 2 or 3 full seconds pass. You're not ignoring him. You're matching his nervous system with a steadier one. Dogs borrow regulation from the humans around them. The same way a rattled friend calms down faster sitting next to someone who isn't panicking. Give him that steadiness before you give him movement. Once his body softens, and you'll feel it, the tail slows, the whining stops, the muscles under your hand loosen. That's your signal. Now you can play. Now you can throw the toy. Now the excitement has somewhere healthy to go. You haven't taken away his joy. You've just given his nervous system a chance to catch up with it first. And here's a question worth sitting with. Have you ever noticed how some dogs greet visitors calmly while others spiral the second the doorbell rings? What's actually different about them isn't training. It's how consistently their owner has shown up as that steady point over and over until the dog's body learned it could trust it. This one small shift, done consistently, starts changing something far bigger than a single greeting at the door. It starts changing how your dog experiences you altogether. Instead of a person who escalates his highest moments, you slowly become the steady presence he can return to, no matter what set him off. And that's not a small thing. That's the entire relationship. Rebuilt one small pause at a time. What would change in your home if you were that presence every single time before your dog even had to ask? What we covered today is real, and it works. But it's only one piece of a much bigger picture. High arousal management, overexcited greetings, emotional anchors. These all sit inside the same 5-element cycle we walk through, completely inside the dog who understands you. It takes everything we've talked about here and shows you exactly how it applies to barking, leash pulling, separation struggles, and more, all through this same lens of nervous system regulation instead of surface-level commands. If you want to keep going, head over to our community tab. There's a free emotional sync method checklist waiting there. 10 things to check before any interaction with your dog. Completely free, no email required. Start with that one tonight. And notice how much changes just by watching more closely. Because at the end of the day, he was never just asking to play. He's not inviting you to play. He's inviting you to notice him. And now, you finally know how to answer.